The high school I went to had 1,200 students. 1,200 all-boys school. Disgusting, angry, teenage boys. The tiniest whiff of difference and you were a goner in my school. And this survived fine, okay? I was fine. And I'll tell you why. Let me quickly break it down. There is generational differences happening and it's lovely to see. I have heard that there are now students at this school who are proudly open and out of the closet and they're in year 7 and year 8 and that's incredible to hear because I'm telling you now, when I was there, it's like, of course, be an individual and be your authentic self. The day after you graduate, freak. I'm just saying, it was the Hunger Games at that place. Like, stab it cunt in the fucking neck if you had to. Just get out of there alive. And so every gay I know who's my age, we suffer from a condition called straight voice. Straight voice is this thing we do when we're around like a plumber or an uncle or like the RACV man. Our body language changes, we start bopping, our hand goes back here for some reason. Just say things we never normally say. Sup, mate? Dude, how are you, champ? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, how's the missus? Yeah, working the mines. Sheds. And I think in high school, my friends absolutely knew what was going on, but they were so kind that they just never said anything. They just let me be, you know, because I tried way too hard. I was always like, hey, fellas, how good sucking off a puss? Will I be a good dad? I don't know. It's a question I ask myself all the time. I don't know what skill set you're supposed to have to be a good dad, but I can tell you this much. There is one part about being a dad I'd be very, very good at. You're all adults, you can hear this now. No matter what it is that your family is doing together, no matter what the special occasion that it is that you are sharing together as a family unit, I can promise you your dad is not having a good time. That's a dad clap, by the way. It's a sad, angry dad clap that he's off his couch. There is nothing grumpier than a dad at something. That's it. That's the end of that sentence, just dragged along. The only time my dad is truly happy to leave the house is to check if the neighbour's tree is growing on his side of the fence. You know? When we were let out into the world, knock on the door, first day out. It's Lynn. Mum, hello. Bringing over pasta. Thank you, Lynn. Invited her in. Wow, a guest. This is cool. In the kitchen, having a yap. About 20 minutes into the catch-up with my mum, I said, do you want a cup of tea? And she said, oh, I can't stay. Your father's in the car. I haven't seen him for 3 months. What are you doing, Dad? Put the handbrake on, get out. All dads do this very weird thing, and I reckon it's happened in your family. Mum is consistent from birth. God, she doesn't change, that woman. Solidly consistent. But dads, something happens to a dad in his later years when your dad never, ever, ever cries for your whole life, and then all of a sudden, all he does is cry. It's a very, very subtle... It's one moment. We all saw our dad cry for the first time only a couple of years ago. And wow, was it a funeral? No. It was saying a speech at my sister's wedding. What is it about a dad saying a speech that makes that man fall apart? We hadn't seen an iota of emotion come through that hard Italian man's face for 3.5 decades, and he stood up and he grabbed the mic and he just broke down. And me and the rest of my family finally saw our dad drop his guard. He dropped his shield, and there he was, a vulnerable, complicated, emotional human being. And we were so embarrassed. Dad's crying. What a girl's dick. No one recognised him. He was saying words I've never heard him say before. At one point he goes, and my beautiful family. Like, beautiful family? You called us you lot for 30 years. What have you done with my dad?